Hey, what is up, guys? WWE Forever 98 here, and today I will be giving you guys episode 5 of Retro Reviews. I will be reviewing SummerSlam 2002 and 2003. So let's start off with SummerSlam 2002. This is the best SummerSlam I've ever seen. I've seen quite a few, and this by far is the best. You know, people say 2004, 2005. This was probably not even just the best SummerSlam. This has to be one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. It was just solid from top to bottom. We opened the night with Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. This was a great opener to start off the night. It really had a fast pace to it. A lot of high-flying action. You know, you weren't really bored at all during this match. And that's what openers are supposed to do, you know. But Angle won with an ankle lock, beat Mysterio. I thought this was a very, very good match. All-star ratings are in the description box. Chris Jericho versus Ric Flair. This match was okay. I mean, I really didn't like their chemistry. I thought it was just a mismatch. But nonetheless, it was a solid match. Ric Flair won, I believe, with a figure 4. So, you know, it was a good ending. And it was a good match, you know. It got about 10 minutes, which was fine, you know, whatever. But, yeah, Ric Flair and Chris Jericho was pretty good, 3 stars. Then we had Eddie Guerrero versus Edge. This was probably one of my favorite matches of the night. I mean, I really, really liked what these guys did. It was just a very good match. I loved how Eddie Guerrero tried to take out Edge's shoulder, so, you know, it would be harder for him to do, you know, the spear and such. They worked, that was probably the main target of the whole match, you know, that one injury that the heels always work on. And he just did a very good job of selling that. Edge did, the shoulder injury. But Edge won with a spear, and that was it. Very, very good match. Then we had the Tag Team Championships. Un-Americans, the reigning champions, versus Booker T and Goldust. Booker T and Goldust, what a great tag team. They had so many memorable skits. I really wish, you know, I wouldn't say that they're around today, but, you know, you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, I thought this was a good tag match. You got enough time. Un-Americans went over. And, you know, at the time, the Un-Americans were probably the biggest stable in WWE. I really liked how they drew the heat, you know, the whole, you know, obviously in the name, Un-Americans. So, you know, they were anti-America, and that always works out to be a good heel when you're going against a certain country. So, yeah, I thought this was a good tag team match, and the Un-Americans went over. RVD versus Chris Benoit for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, at the time, Benoit had this, and it was on brand, but it was a Raw Championship. And I liked how they incorporated Stephanie McMahon and Eric Bischoff into the night. You know, it was kind of like Raw versus SmackDown kind of pay-per-view, which, you know, is great. And it would turn out that Rob Van Dam would defeat Chris Benoit, bring the title back to Raw, and yeah, this was an absolutely great match. 3 3/4. I was very, very impressed. Undertaker versus Test. Now, okay, I will give you this. It was a very good, I wouldn't say very good. It was a good big man match, but it was just hard to sit through, you know? I mean, big man matches are usually like that, but, I mean, Test did a great job. I think it was kind of Undertaker's fault, in my opinion. I don't know, they just didn't mesh well, in my opinion, but, Undertaker hit Test with a tombstone, and that was the end of that, and Undertaker celebrated with the American flag, because Test was also a part of the Un-Americans. So, you know what, this was a whatever match, but it was made up. I mean, by far the match of the night was the next match, the non-sanctioned match between Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. This was Shawn Michaels' first match since coming back from that back injury that sidelined him for years. I believe it was 4 years, 3-4 years. And you know what, it was just a really good match. I mean, you couldn't even tell that Shawn Michaels was away. You know, he had a severe back injury. You couldn't even tell that. I mean, he just worked a fantastic match. The only knock I have on this match was that, you know, they got tons of time. I believe it went almost a half hour. Very, very close to a half hour. And it was, the only thing that I was pissed off about was that, you know, I understand that Shawn Michaels was coming off a back injury, so you didn't want to, you know, have too many risks. But I just thought that there weren't enough spots for a half-hour match. but you know, it was still a great match, 4 3/4. You know, I enjoyed the hell out of it. And then, what was next? And then we had the match that everybody anticipated, Rock versus Brock. The Rock being the undisputed champion against the rookie Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar, this is the pay-per-view where he went over. He became the undisputed champion, became the youngest world champion in WWE history up to now, which would be taken by, I believe, Randy Orton, I think. But this was a very good match. I was impressed by it. 3 3/4. Overall, SummerSlam 2002, big thumbs up. 9.25 out of 10. Really go check this out and try to get your hands on the DVD. SummerSlam 2003. A lot of people shit on this pay-per-view. It was requested by Dreamcatchers 918. I thought it was gonna be horrible. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. You had as the opener, the World Tag Team Championship match between La Resistance and the Dudley Boyz. I liked this match, and you know, it was a solid opener. I really don't support having tag team matches open shows, but you know, it worked. It worked somewhat. 2.5 stars, and La Resistance went over. Undertaker versus A-Train. I was very impressed by this match. Not just because, also, you know, another big man match, but A-Train did a great job. I mean, I was very impressed by A-Train. He worked very well with The Undertaker. Just very impressed by that match, and Undertaker did win that. Falls Count Anywhere match between Eric Bischoff versus Shane McMahon. This was a total waste of time. Stone Cold came down, and you know, he was raising hell, and then I believe Shane McMahon won. The only real, I mean, he just did coast to coast, and that was it. So I was kind of pissed off about that. That was the only really thing that you have to watch this match for. I mean, it was horrible. United States Championship match between Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Tajiri, and Rhino. I don't know what to say about this match. I was kind of disappointed. I don't know why Rhino was thrown in there. I mean, you have 3, I guess you can say, cruiserweights, and then you have Rhino, you know. But, you know, solid match. It was good. I believe Eddie Guerrero won. I may be wrong. Because I'm not very familiar with SummerSlam 2003, because that was the pay-per-view I watched before SummerSlam 2002. Don't ask me why. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure Eddie Guerrero retained the United States Championship. WWE Championship match between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle was the champion at this time. This was the match of the night by far. I just really liked this match. Who won this? I believe Kurt Angle retained. I believe. And now, Kurt Angle was the face in this. And Brock Lesnar was a major face at this time. And he turned on Kurt Angle because him and Kurt Angle were like best friends, sort of. So, you know, I liked the feud. And the match did deliver. I was very impressed by that. So 3 3/4 star for Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. I believe Kurt Angle won. Yeah, I think he did. Then we had Kane versus Rob Van Dam. Now, at the time, this was probably one of my favorite feuds that WWE had. You know, this was the whole feud that had Kane unmasked, and, you know, Rob Van Dam kind of being like the stepping stone for Kane to establish himself as a monster even without the mask. This was a decent match. It was no holds barred. It was decent. 3 stars. Kane went over, and yeah. Now, Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H, the defending champion, versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Nash versus Goldberg versus Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels. Decent. I don't know. This is probably one of my least favorite chamber matches. I mean, it was basically the Triple H and Goldberg show. Triple H did win this match, and then he kicked the shit out of Goldberg after. So, you know, I wasn't a big fan of this match at all. Overall, SummerSlam 2003, 6.75 out of 10. You know, it was throwaway, I guess you can say, and that's kind of a shame because it's one of the big 4. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of it. If you saw any of these pay-per-views, let me know what you thought in the comments. I'm not taking requests yet. I've been getting a lot of comments on these videos saying, can you review insert pay-per-view here? I'm not taking requests yet. I still have about 10 more pay-per-views to review. Once that's done, I will be taking requests again. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Raw rant tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.